Hey, what's up everybody? In today's video, I want to talk about more so towards your idiosyncratic routine for getting your boat prepped, trailering it to the lake, launching it, putting it back on the trailer, wiping it down, and then trailering it back to your storage unit or to your house and unloading, and what your process is. I want to go through what I do and what my routine is to get on the water and back, and I'd like to hear any comments from you guys if you learned anything or anything that you see that I might be missing that would help out and make my process even more efficient. Unfortunately in Utah, we don't get to live on the lake. A lot of states in the US, you get to live on the lake, so your boat might be on a lift right out your back door, so you don't have to worry about that, or you live a short drive to the lake where you're able to keep your boat on the water. So this might be a little bit of an overkill, or might not even apply to you, but I would think even in that situation, you have an idiosyncratic routine that you do to make sure that you're not missing a step and your boat's ready and prepped for a great day on the water. So usually my routine starts the night before. I'll get all my gear prepped, my wakeboard stuff, the boat stuff, and put it by the garage door at my house. I don't keep my boat at my house. I keep it in a storage unit just a couple of minutes from my house. And so I'll just make sure that I have everything necessary to just pack up into my truck the very next day and ready to go, so I'm not forgetting anything. That's my life jacket, my rope. If it's cold weather gear, so like either my dry suit or my neo top, possibly gloves, obviously my board, then obviously my kit that contains all my cleaning products, my microfibers, my safety kit, my Malo'o dry rack to hang my gear to drip dry while I'm wiping down the boat afterwards, a small bucket to wash any rags that I might need, stuff like that. Leaf blower to blow all the bugs out of the boat. Started doing that last year and it's helped a lot. And then I typically drive to the storage unit the night before. I'll disconnect the power up to the onboard charger. I'll make sure the racks are in place. I usually turn my rotating racks inward, and just make sure everything is set. Raise up the trailer, because I usually have it on a cinder block to take pressure off the trailer tongue. I'll usually raise it up, put my rock tamers onto the truck, so the very next day I can just pull up, back up, connect, and then basically I'm on my way. I'll put my wet dry vac connected to the power cord and get that in place, ready to go, and yeah, just be really as efficient as possible. Then on the drive to the lake, I'll constantly check the weather to make sure that, depending on what direction the wind is coming from, we're going to launch out of the South Marina or the North Marina, Willard, and then I'll fuel up at the gas station, and I can kind of see the lake from there and make a last minute decision based on where I see the wind coming from, if we're going to stick with the organized marina that we're going to meet at, or if we're going to meet at the other. On the way also, I usually have a Rev 3 energy drink, a natural energy drink from USANA, which is a local Salt Lake City, Utah company. And yeah, it's not loaded with a huge amounts of caffeine, just a little bit to get me alert and hydrated. And once I'm on my way to the lake, then I usually plan to get to the lake at least 30 to 45 minutes prior to the crew arriving, because number one, I want time. I don't want to be rushed. I want time to get the boat prepped in the parking lot. Probably gonna have to use the bathroom because it's about an hour process from the time I leave my house to the lake. And then I want to go through my warm-up routine, stretch out, jog around a little bit, do some loose swinging exercises, just to get all my joints and my muscles warmed up for wakeboarding, especially when it's cold at this time of the year. And I'll drop a link in the description below to my warm-up routine that I made last year. It's a short video that briefly runs through my warm-up routine. And as I get older, I'm 51 years old now, I need time to warm up. So I really want to make sure that I reduce my chances of getting hurt. And every year that goes by, that percentage goes up more and more. Once I get to the lake and I go through my boat prep routine, I get the lead out of the truck, I put it in the boat. I usually keep about 100 pounds of lead permanently in the boat on the port side or the passenger side to offset the driver's side, because the driver's side on my boat's a bit heavier. And then I also, depending on the amount of people I have, normally it's anywhere from 4 to 6 people, I'll have about an extra 200 pounds in lead. And I don't tow it in the truck. I try to reduce the stress on my trailer by trailering it in the truck. And from what I've been told, it's also safer. You want any additional weight in the truck, not in the boat or on the trailer, which can make the trailer swing more at highway speeds. The first thing I'll do actually is put the rear plug in the back of the boat, take off the back straps, throw my bag in the boat, and then I'll put the lead onto the bow, and then I'll hop in the boat, make sure that I put the center plug in. That's one of the first things I do when I get in the boat. Turn the racks out, the bottom rotating racks out, and then put my board up out of the way. Take the things out of my boat bag that I need right away, like my video cameras, my iPod for the radio, light jacket or stuff like that, just so that I can have it handy. And then I'll tuck my backpack away and go from there. I'll take the lead off the bow, put it in the center walkway just in front of the compartment that I put the center plug in, because I want it out of the way from the crew, but not so far forward that's going to make it difficult to get the boat off the trailer by putting an extra amount of weight on the bow. And then once the crew arrives, we all hop in and launch the boat, and hopefully we have a great day on the water with great conditions. From there, bring the boat back in when the day's done, get it back on the trailer. I also have my crew park where we're going to wipe down. I don't have them usually park away from the boat. It just makes it easier to group up and then get to the cleaning process after the day's done. So we pull up to wherever everyone's parked. It's usually always in the same spot, unless for some reason it's really packed that day, then gotta find another spot. But anyway, everyone gets out. I usually stay in the boat. I hand everybody their boards, all their wet gear, get all the wet stuff out of the boat first. Don't start drying right away, because if you start drying and then you try to get all the wet stuff out of the boat, it's just gonna make the boat wet again. So get all the wet stuff out of the boat, get the lead out of the boat, try to make the interior as empty as possible, open up the hatches to let any water that might have been collecting in the pads drain out as you wipe down. And I don't spray right away. I always make sure that I wipe the gel coat dry first, then I use the scooter's after lake on the gel coat, because why would you use a spray when the boat's wet and basically you're using product on dirty water? So wipe the gel coat dry first, then you use either the scooter's after lake or the boat armor if you want to add a layer of carnauba wax and do a little bit of detailing to remove all the water spots and get the gel coat clean. I use the leaf blower to blow all the bugs out as much as I can. I wipe the seats as best as I can with a wet microfiber to make sure all the bugs, smeared bugs and stuff, don't dry too quickly. While the rest of the crew is wiping the gel coat, they wipe the trailer rims, but not the tires, because the tires will really make your towels or your microfibers dirty, and it's tough to clean. My wife, who's very short, she tends to wipe the hull of the boat because it's easier for her to get under the boat and wipe the hull. And our water, again, is pretty dirty, again, with bugs and so forth. So if you don't wipe the hull, the bottom gets pretty nasty. So once everything's done, the crew, gets ready to take off. We decide what the price is per set based on the current gas prices. I let them know. Everyone Venmos the boat owner. This time it would be me. Gas money for their sets. And right now in April in northern Utah, it's about an average of $4.30 a gallon for 91 premium at Chevron. So that's about $22.50 a set, which is it's not great, but it's not bad. The highest we got up to a year ago was $35 a set when it was $5.75 a gallon, which was the highest I've ever seen it here. Then I'm towing the boat home. I usually have a snack, like a turkey sandwich or something, just to make sure that I don't get too hungry. So a turkey sandwich maybe with some chips, just to tide me over, because it's probably going to be another hour before I'm home and can have a real lunch or a real dinner. Get back to the storage unit, disconnect the boat, and then kind of got to go through another round of cleaning process, because the live bugs that get trapped in the hatches and spaces where they're protected from the wind, they'll just stay in the boat and they'll actually hatch in the boat as well. So I'll leave the leaf blower in the boat on the way home, and when I get in the boat, I'll bring the wet dry vac into the boat as well. I'll start off by just sucking up any wet spots in the boat, all the bugs first. I try to make sure that all the bugs are out of the way, so I'm not stepping on live or dead bugs that can make more of a mess. And then I proceed by using the leaf blower to blow out any hard to reach spots to make sure that the bugs are out of the boat. Then I'll remove the pads, start wiping down with my wet microfiber, wipe the towers, wipe the bimini top, wipe the windshields, because they're going to be covered in bugs. Wipe the floors. The floors are dirty not only from the water when people get into the boat, but again also from bug smear and stuff like that. And the cleanup process usually takes anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how bad the bug situation is. If my wife is there with me, it can be pretty quick. She takes care of the outside again from any spots that might have been missed, while I get the interior. Then from there, when everything's done, head home, and I sometimes jump on the bike and loosen up my knees and my joints. I forgot to mention, on the drive to the lake, I actually use a heating pad to warm up my back, so it makes it easier to stretch out, just to help loosen up and so forth. So again, as I get older, it takes a little bit more time for me to get my body prepared and minimize the potential for getting hurt, and to feel better on the water, especially in the early part of the year or in the fall when the temperatures start getting colder, the water temps start getting colder. It takes a little bit more to be warmed up and ready to ride. Everybody, even the younger guys that I ride with, the last couple of days where we're on the boat, they were like, oh man, I got tired really fast. The water temps were getting warm for a while, but now they're dropping again. Yesterday they were like 53 degrees, when a few days ago there was like 55, 56. And that's only because the lake, the mountain snow runoff has begun. So they're letting a lot of water in from the mountains into the valley lakes, and that water is really cold. So that would drop the temperatures over the next month, or keep it at least on the colder side. So again, it takes a little bit more for me to stay warm and loosened up to ride. But again, I hope you learned a little bit about my process. I know it's a little bit extensive. Maybe I'm a bit OCD or retentive that way, but I'm sure a lot of us have similar routines to keep the boats looking really good and running well. So again, if you like this video, hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, maybe consider doing so. It really helps me out, and I really appreciate your support. All right, and if you have any tips or comments, please drop them in the comment section below. I really appreciate you guys' support, and hope you guys have a great day. Aloha.